This video will help you learn how to use the Discovery Education Common Core in the Classroom program. Once you have logged into the DE website, you should automatically see this Common Core tab. If you don't, go to the action bar that is located at the top of the screen, and when you roll your mouse over the My DE Services link, a drop-down menu like this one will appear. Select the Streaming Plus option. That will take you to the Common Core in the Classroom tab. Let's scroll down and look at the different options. DE offers English and Language Arts resources for the Common Core, and they also offer math for Common Core. Even though the state of Florida has changed to using their new Florida standards for math, the Common Core standards, as you have seen throughout this course, translate fairly easily into the Mathematics Florida standards. So we'll demonstrate that as we go along in this video. Let's start with looking at the options for grade levels. They have on the DE website resources for K through 8 math, and then you will see the high school domains listed. Let's look at grade 6. You're going to see in the domain column the 5 domains for the grade 6 math. I'm going to select the statistics and probability domain, and notice in the column for the standard cluster, the 2 clusters for this domain appear. Let's choose the summarize and describe distributions cluster, and over in the standard column you're going to see the standards that apply to this cluster. Notice the Common Core math content for 6 SP, which is for statistics and probability, B.4. That will translate into the Mathematics Florida standards as 6.SP.2.4. Let's select this first one. Now you're going to see an actual page that is dedicated to this one standard. You're going to see tabs, one for the model lesson, and we'll look at that tab first, and you're going to see one for Explore, and the third tab is for Assess. Let's look at the different links on this left side. This is a panel of links, and we're here on the standards. Notice secondary standards in statistics. You see the primary standards for this, and then you see the secondary level standards. I'm going to choose the session 1. Notice this lesson has 3 different sessions. The first one is for statistical questions, and let's just take a look at this. You can share this by clicking on this link. You can share, you can grab a link and share it. You can add it to your My Content. If you are familiar with Discovery Education, you can add this to a folder that will contain all the different resources you've seen. You can even print the lesson. This first session deals with statistical questions. Notice that it starts with a summary of the session. Then you see the CCSS math standards. Then you see those standards for mathematical practice. Please remember when you are building your lesson plan for the end of this course that you include the applicable standards for mathematical practice that go along with the standard you choose in the lesson you're going to be creating. Notice the essential question or guided question here. Here's the task. They've listed the teacher preparation. And then notice the instructional procedures chart. This has a lot embedded in it. You need to see it step by step. It's describing the actions of the teacher. It also will show the instructional resources, materials, and technology that's going to be used. That's embedded there. Notice it's scripted, what to ask, what to say. This is like you are going to be creating when you create your lesson plan for this course. You will have an instructional procedures section, step by step. Now you're going to see some group application. So you want to look for collaboration. And then at the very end, you'll see the wrap up, or what we're calling closure, which needs to be student directed. The teacher facilitates, but you want the students to show what they learned during the lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll back up to the very top. This is just session 1. This is what you're looking for. This should give you some ideas of what to include in your lesson you're going to be creating for the course. Notice there's session 2. It's going to analyze data, the central tendency, And then you have session 3, data analysis again, variability and overall distribution. It's set up very much like this first session, so we won't take the time to look at it, but you will have time later. You're going to be actually looking for a lesson plan for a particular standard that you're going to choose. And let's look at the DE resources. That's one thing that I know that you are familiar with Discovery Education. Notice the session 1 resources that are available from Discovery, the session 2, and then session 3. So these are things that you need to be looking at and taking note of, because you're going to be probably coming back and pulling some of these resources for your lesson plan. Notice the Explore tab. And here you have resources to activate student interest, to support when they're wanting to know more, and to provide practice. You want to build fluency with the Common Core skills. You want to build fluency with the Mathematical Florida standards as well, and those skills. So you may look at those. You have little previews where you can click on launch and preview them. Assess. Now here you're going to see the assessments that are available within Discovery Education for this particular standard, and they have a practice assessment and then they have an activity. That is how you use the Discovery Education Common Core in the Classroom program. It works very well if you're able to go in and look at all the information, and you will be getting a time to practice this. You want to take advantage of the resources that are here, not only for this particular course, but you need to start using these, please, as much as you can during the school year with your students.